Hello, Facelandia. How you doing? I'll just give this a little second or two, make sure everything's working all right. Lighting and sound, everything's together. All right. Okay, great. Looks like we're on. Looks like things are working. Hello, Pamela. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Nice to see you. And just do a little wave here. Nice to see you. Awesome. Hello, Paula. Thanks for being here. Welcome. Thanks for, again, it's always just a pleasure to be here. Thank you, for taking the time and joining up. Today is day 20. Welcome to our day 20 of our 30-day challenge. Oh my God, 2/3 of the way there. And for our Unleash the Dragon challenge. Today we've got Cobra that we're doing. And I'm just looking at the camera, and yeah, the angle is a bit high. Let me just touch it up a little bit. Hello, good evening. Hello, Katrina. Nice to see you. Who's the good evening? Who's in the Paula? I see you're ahead of us. Great. Okay. All right, there, that's a bit better. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's do let's do some shaking, and that'll set us up nicely for Cobra. And we'll do some of the bows, we'll do some of the exercises that we've done so far, and then we'll do the Cobra bow, and I'll talk a little bit about Cobra and what it symbolizes a little bit more, and let's get into it. So let's shake, rattle, and roll in the foot, up into the shin. Try and let the vibrations travel through your whole body. And up into the thigh. Let the shaking of the thigh travel through the rest of your body. Up into the hip. Let your leg go behind you, to the side, in front of you. Good. Get a nice little stir of the pot. Good. Excellent. And other foot. Shake, rattle, and roll the bones in your foot like a maraca. Get the foot behind you, to the side, in front of you. Let the vibrations travel through your body, loosening up any tension. Good. Stir the pot with your shin bones. Good. Again, side, behind you. Good, and then shake the meat off of your quads, off of your thigh bone. Yep, up into your hip. Let the vibration shake the rest of your body up and loosen it up. Good, and then chubby checkers. Dropping down. Drop in the roll in the pelvis, shake it off in the pelvis. Good. Excellent. And then bouncing one leg and the other, just bending in one knee and the other. Good. Relax. Keep feeling your body, so feel your skeletal system. Breathe into it, exhale from it. Feel your connective tissue. We'll touch base, so your skeletal system, touch base with your python. Feel your connective tissue, touch base with your panther. Feel the musculature, touch base with your tiger. Feel your circulatory and your circulatory system and your breath, your boa. The skin, the boa. Good. And feel white leopard, the space, the energy around your body. And I forgot to mention this yesterday, the endocrine system. Good, your hormones, your glands. And now, feel your nervous system, your cobra. Good. All right, and now both knees together. And we'll do the flicking exercise. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah, 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 whoa, 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 yeah, yeah. Let your shoulders be as limp as possible. You're moving your arms by moving your body, by sending a ripple through your spine. Yeah, 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 yeah. And relax. And feel what your body feels like. And again, scan each system of your body, the bones of Python, the tendons and ligaments of Panther, the musculature of Tiger, the breath of the Boa, the skin of the Boa. Feel the glands and the energy of the leopard. Feel the nervous system of the cobra. Good. All right, let's dance. So let's do a little bit of the bows for each of the animals and some of the exercises that we've been doing for them. Just put this in my pocket. All right, let's start with the boa bow and relaxing your body of all tension. Bend the knees. Let the rib cage rest on the pelvis. Feel like your limbs are all supported by large helium balloons. And touch base with the quiet center of the unconscious and your empathy. And this, drop them down. Feel the melons fill up with breath on the way up. And then roll the melons down on the exhale, emptying out. As you move and breathe, you're deepening, you're dropping like a pebble down into a lake. And as you're following the pebble down to the depth of the lake, you're following the ripples out as they concentrically enlarge. I guess eccentrically, as they get larger and larger, as they ripple out. And drop, deepen into your sense of empathy and the unconscious. Surrender, let go. One more. As you do the bow, feel how the rest of the space around you continues to resonate in response to the bow that you're doing. Almost as if the space around you is doing the bow with you. One more time. Feeling like the space is joining you in the bow. And stand, hold the beach ball. Breathe. Fill up with breath. Exhale, empty out of breath. Let your breath flow naturally. Good. And release the boa, come to neutral. Yeah, let's do Panther. So feeling the moist moistness of your breath, feeling the pulse of life rippling through you after doing the boa. You're going to catch that pulse with Panther. You're going to feel the pulse of your life in your tendons and ligaments, in the wet viscosity of your body, and you're going to use that for Panther. Feel the tendons and ligaments. Feel like you can inhale and exhale through your tendons and ligaments like they're straws. Breathe into them, exhale from them. Feel that the rope of the flagpole at the back, and when it gets pulled down at the back, as you pull the flagpole rope at the back, it goes over the top and it lifts the rope at the front, and it lifts your front up. Feel the cups on the soft yin side of the skin of the joints, and as you exhale, those cups get deeper and longer. As you do that, you're sending energy, you're sending blood to those joints, especially to the tendons and ligaments that are particularly dense at the joints. Breathing in through the tendons and ligaments, feel the rope at the back, feel the cups, and send energy and blood to your joints, especially the tendons and ligaments that at the joint. At the joints. Good. Feel the back of the brainstem. Feel your connection to your ancestral memory. Tip of the tailbone, groin, belly, back of the brainstem. Your Panther centers. Okay, good. And then bring in the earth energy from all the swampy, dark corners into your tendons and ligaments. Feel your canines grow. As you feel that wild man, wild woman inside, say hello. The back of your tongue is pushing against the back of your head as if you're trying to push your cerebellum out. One more time. Good. And triangle at the groin. And flip the triangle. And stand. Good. So this is an art of transformation, and you should, by now, 20 days in, I think we're all comfortable with what the animals are, and then a little bit about what they're about. Now you can play with it. So as you adopt as you adopt the animal, yes, you focus on the parts of the body, and they're a really good anchor. And then also play. Feel, play act like you're that animal. Let yourself feel like a black panther. Grow fangs, grow claws, feel your fur grow. Feel like it's dark night and you are perfectly camouflaged. When you're doing boa, what does it feel like to have a snake-like spine? And can you move like that all the more? So using that visualization, that invocation of their spirit to evoke from yourself the qualities they represent. Okay, so let's do a few little exercises. Let's do the panther. So panther is good. Let's do the tendons and ligaments. So again, draw a little circle, draw these circles with your shoulders. Okay. And keep relaxing, especially on the way down, keep relaxing, letting your shoulders drop heavy. And then let that heaviness transfer to your elbows. Okay. Good. And let's take that into the panther form, into the movement. And coming up. And forward. Pick up the laundry. Come up, chicken head block. Out. Hands come up. Feet come up. Hands go down, feet go down. Up. And you're pumping energy into your tendons and ligaments all along your body. The limbs are usually easiest to do, like it's easy to think of, the tendons and ligaments in your arms and in your legs. And then the spine and the pelvis are a little bit harder. You send a little wave up your torso. So it's not a big wave. It's a subtle little wave. And as the wave travels, it gives you a chance to visit all the connective tissue along your vertebra and your ribs. Good. Good. And last time. And come up to a stand. Good. Relax. Feel your body. Feel what it feels like. Let me just check the scroll here. Samir, hello. Nice to see you. Hello, Light. Hello, Joy. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. Hello, Dorothy. Kara, nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Hey, hello from Victoria. Paula, Pamela. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. It's a privilege and an honor and such a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right. That's a little bit of panther. And let's do a little bit of tiger now. Okay. All right. So you've done the motion for the panther. You have your tendons and ligaments warmed up. You've got connected to your breath. Now, let's take a moment. Let's feel especially that lower melon. So you fill up the lower melon with breath. And then when you exhale, keep the melon expanded even as you exhale from it. And as you fill up the melon, feel it not just fill up, front, back, side to side, up and down, but also feel it rotating. So it's spiraling, it's spinning, it goes up the front and down the back. And so you lift up in the front and you settle down at the back. So again, that flagpole image, there's somebody below your feet and he's got a rope that goes up to your spine, and when he pulls down on that flagpole rope, it lifts up the front. And it makes you stand up straight, but it also pulls you down and stabilizes you a bit. So feel that melon fill up, especially the lower one. Exhale from it. And start to feel like your body is a pressure cooker. You're bringing in energy, and then you're not letting it escape, and you're adding a bit of pressure, compressing that energy in, especially into the lower belly. That's the core of the hot spot of the pressure. And it's warm enough, it's warming up, it's getting hot enough that it's heating up and warming up the whole rest of your body. Draw energy up from the earth and draw energy down from the sun, and they meet. Good. And let's do the bow together and feet together. Feel the mantle of the tiger. Feel the musculature of the tiger. Bring on your tiger. Invoke the tiger spirit inside of you. And good. And triangle. tiger, and relax your tiger. Let it release. Let's do a little bit of the movement for tiger. So I hope you could get a sense of that. I was getting into it, so I stopped talking. Okay. All right, let's do some of the motion for tiger. Let's do the drop down, and then the double punch, and the block up. Just because it has it's simple, and it gives you a sense of tiger. All right, are you ready? Are you with me? Are you with me? All right. And put on the mantle of the tiger. Cut the space in front of you with your sheer focus, with the sheer quality of your concentration. And this. Now, what did we do? Oh, yeah. Comes up the midline, it's turned so the hard skin is on the outside, and then the fist continues up the midline, and the arm rotates so the soft skin is now facing outside. And it's the pulling down that raises the upward arm up. And the pulling down, there's a rope that goes up to a winch and connects with the other arm. And it's the pulling down that raises the other arm. Let's try that again. And drop and spear the sky. Claw down. And spear hand. Make fists, pull your arms in, double punch out, pull it in, and block up, block up. Ready? One more time, and good. Excellent. And stand, feel what your body feels like. And remember when you first started, bring your mind back to when you did bow at the start. How does your body feel now compared to that? How does it feel now compared to when you finished with panther? And those differences make the art. All of those differences live within yourself. All of those states of mind, all of those attitudes are potentials that you're capable of, that you can tap into whenever you want. Right? And all we're doing is allowing them to have movement. We're breathing through them. And we're giving them names, magical names, to invoke them. Okay, so that's tiger. All right, now let's do, python. Forgot python. Okay, and so we've gotten our musculature, and now let's dive into the skeleton. And so you're relaxing the tension of tiger. It's good to do tiger sometimes before you do python because you build up the strength of the muscles, and then that gives you the stability to handle the wave power of python's skeletal manipulation. All right, so relax the tension of the muscles and breathe into your bones, breathe into the marrow of your bones, breathe into the space between the bones. let's do the bow. And we're going to drop down into the deep unconscious, come up through the subconscious and conscious mind. We're dropping down to the core of the earth, coming up through the layers of sediment, all the geological layers. And that's what we do with the mind. That's what we do with everything. We see the layers and we connect them. And use the melons to control, to raise the arms for you, and then pack energy into the marrow of the bones. One more time, dropping down. Breathe. Fill up the melons. That top melon helps raise your arms for you. And big body wave. Dropping down. Good. And triangles. Feet, soles of the feet to the groin, fill that up with breath. Tips of the fingers to the top of the head, fill that up with breath. And then exhale, settle the top triangle down onto the bottom triangle. Good. Oh, right. Yeah, so let's do a little Python action. So, right. So let's do it 1, 2, 3. So you've got Karari in your shoulders, so you can't willfully, volitionally control your own shoulder arms, your own shoulders or arms. The only way you can move them is by using your hips, your waist, and your spine. And when you send a wave through your spine, it travels through your arm. And at first, when you first start off, you're just loose and carefree and casual. It's almost like being a child because you're just getting used to letting go of the tension. But as you get more proficient at it, you make the waves smaller. And as you make the waves smaller, in martial terms, it has more weight and more effectiveness. Just in case you're watching this from a different martial art perspective. So yes, it's really exaggerated, but of course, then as you get more proficient, you make the waves smaller. Let's play them. So first let's just get loose. You're like Grover from Sesame Street, and the only way you can move your arms is by moving your waist, your torso, and your spine. And now we're going to do an action, a 3-part strike. So 1, 2, 3, like that. But the only way you can move your arms is, again, by moving your waist, your hips, and your spine. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is what Python is like. 1, 2, 3. Switch arms, left arm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so that's a little bit of Python. There are some other funky Python moves. Another really good one is like a windmill chop. We could try it. Maybe we'll do that a bit later. Let me know in the comments if you want to try that. Okay. Okay, so that's Python. And let's do leopard. So white leopard. So first, take a moment. Feel what your body feels like. So you feel the Python first. You feel, right now, right now I'm feeling like I have X-ray vision and I'm feeling my skeleton right now. And I'm feeling the tension of my muscles dropping off of the bones. And I'm feeling almost like my bones don't have muscles, and the way that they're standing is because they're balanced on each other. So that's how I'm feeling right now, and it's very different than how I felt after I felt tiger. All right? So take a moment, feel how you feel. Take a moment also and check in with your sense of observation. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling kinesthetically in your skin, in your joints? What are you smelling? What are you tasting? And it's as if all of those perceptual tracks are like part of a track on those old vinyl records, and all of those lines of sensory music come into your mind, and they drop down. You lay the track into the marrow of your bones. So just take a moment and feel that. Whatever you're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, that line of information is coming directly into your brain and down into the marrow of your bones. Good. All right. So when I do that, I feel like energy dripping, like a coffee drip of sensation into the marrow of my bones, and I'm feeling very grounded and heavy, while yet very mobile and light in my movement. Okay? So that's Python. And release the Python. Come to neutral. And now feel, let's start with the endocrine system. I forgot to mention this yesterday with leopard. The leopard represents the endocrine system, the glands that secrete hormones that guide the growth of your body and the function, the actions of your body. And just so you feel the glands, they're all lined up on the midline of your body, and they line up very nicely with the energetic centers in yoga for the chakras. So the crown is the pineal gland, pituitary gland. Third eye is the pineal and the hypothalamus. Throat is the thyroid. Heart's the thymus, and the dantian, the kidneys, the adrenals, and then pubic bone, the groin, the gonads, ovaries for women, testicles for men, and then the tip of the tailbone, the iliosacral pump. So you're feeling all of those centers along the column of your body. And you feel the electromagnetic discharge that your body gives off. All the action potentials of electrical currents traveling through your neurons, the differential potential as blood flows. I think it's with a negative polarity on the inside of a blood vessel, and the outside of the blood vessel is more positively charged. All of that live electrical body. The body electric. You're feeling your body electric. The field of the body electric. Good. And you're touching base with the elements of the earth that the leopard represents and connects with. The aurora borealis in the northern hemisphere. You feel the Van Allen belts of the magnetic field of the earth. And see like the leopard sees, above and behind of yourself. You're looking at yourself from above and behind, and feel the collarbones spread apart and roll under. Feel your shoulder blades be pulled apart and pulled upwards. You've got wires underneath the brow of your head and a wire at the back of your head pulling you straight up. And if you lifted your feet, you'd already be flying. You're floating. And breathing into the throat and up into the forehead and the crown of the head. And then sending energy down from the crown of the head, through the forehead, out through the throat. And throat, forehead, crown. And then as you exhale, down the crown, forehead, out the throat. As you look at yourself from above and behind yourself. One more time. And turn the feet open, triangle at the throat. Turn the feet closed, triangle at the crown of the head. And breathe out through the crown of your head like you're a dolphin breathing out of your blowhole. And then bring the hands down. Good. Good. So that's a little bit of leopard. And now let's get into cobra. So where the leopard is electromagnetic, the cobra is electrical. Where the white leopard loves big vision, 360 degrees of vision and distance, the cobra has vision that is hyper-focused. It sees with incredible detail. It'll fixate on one point with a lot of resolution and detail. Where the leopard loves a big picture of all of the moving parts and what they're all doing, like you're a grand sociologist looking and analyzing and seeing the trends of a society as it evolves. The cobra is hyper-personal. It looks at one person and almost into and through that person and sees the moments, the hot spots of that person's life that were formative in shaping their psyche. So the leopard is like transpersonal and the cobra is hyperpersonal. White leopard is intuitive, cobra is psychic. Psychic can mean, yes, like, remote perception, telepathy, and all of those kinds of phenomenon. And it also means psychic in the sense of the mind, of the psyche. Okay? And so for the cobra represents the nervous system. And let's do the bow. We've done it before. Let's refresh our memory. And it's nice to start off. I always start off with the fangs of the cobra, if you will. So you place your index finger underneath your middle finger, and it's kind of like a fang. And it's, if you've done shiatsu or taken, acupuncture or something like that, perhaps with somebody they use their fingers in this way and touch lightly. But you use your tips of the fingers, and they're sort of like laser pointers, right? So wherever they point, that's where the energy is going. And you have your laser pointers, and you can stand on both feet if you want, or on one foot, where you place your toe, your big toe of one foot, onto the space between the big toe and the second toe of the other foot. And here is your cobra tail. All right. And I'm going to do it on 2 feet so I don't have to concentrate too much and I can guide you through this. Take a moment, feel your nervous system, and feel electricity passing through your nervous system. Now, where is the electricity coming from? It's coming from the earth. It's coming from the discharge of electricity and energy from the earth. Constantine used to talk about ley lines. That's fine. I like the image of piezoelectric. So piezoelectric is, crystals are piezoelectric. So it's the discharge of a current as a result of when pressure is applied. So when you press on a quartz crystal, it discharges a little bit of electricity. Conversely, if you run electricity through the crystal, it causes the crystal to discharge pressure. It causes the crystal to vibrate, which is how liquid crystal watches work. You send a current through them and they vibrate at a particular frequency, and that's how they keep time. So there's a discharge, there's always a differential potential of electricity between the earth and the sky. That's why you get lightning strikes. So you're feeling the discharge of that electrical energy up through your body. And you're feeling that discharge of energy through your nerves. And so there are pulses of electrical energy traveling through your nervous system. So you're not just feeling the nerves, but you're feeling the nerves handling, grounding, transferring the electrical impulses from the earth. So just take a moment, scan your body from top to bottom, bottom to top, and as you feel your nervous system, feel it absorbing electrical energy. And feel in particular the tip of the tailbone, just like Panther, they overlap. Feel the back of the brainstem, just like Panther, they overlap. And feel the third eye point. And energy impulses are coming up to the tailbone, up to the brainstem, and coming forward to the third eye point. And feel now like there's small little electrical currents or discharges in the room, and you're moving in response to them. And there actually are. There are small little spiders, and I forget what the expression is. There's a term for it. I think it's called sailing or spinning, or it's not spinnakering, but these are small little baby spiders, and when they're born, they climb up to the top of a plant, and then they let go of a thread, and the thread is light enough, and the spiders are small enough that they catch like the differences of electrostatic cling, the differences of electrical charge between the ground and the 2 or 3 feet that they're up on, and the web is propelled by that electrical charge, and then the spiders are caught on that and they sail, and that's how they disperse. And I forget the scientific name for that, but they fly, and they fly a long distance, like hundreds of miles, like out to ocean. They're found on like aircraft carriers. So there are these small little changes of current in the air, and feel almost like you can feel them. Good. And dropping down, we're going to do the bow. And we're going to touch the tip of the tailbone as you inhale energy into the tailbone. Raise that energy up the spine to the back of the brainstem as you touch the third eye point. Bring that energy from the brainstem to the third eye as you touch the back of the brainstem. And form the cobra. Shape the hood of the cobra. Start to exhale, and down. One more time, and inhale, a small little sipping breath into the tailbone. I'm coiling up, I'm helping that impulse of energy travel up my spine with a small little ripple, Just it helps me feel it and imagine it. And then it gets to my brain stem, and then I inhale into my brain stem, a small little sipping breath as I touch my third eye point. And then I send the pulse forward to my third eye as I touch my brain stem. And then I go out to the sides and shape the hood of the cobra and start to exhale. I do a little strike, a little cobra spit, and I start to exhale. And down. One more time. Tip of the tailbone, inhale, up to the third eye point. Inhale, inhale as you touch the back of the brainstem. Hold the breath. Form the cobra's hood. Strike and start to exhale. Draw the contour, the inside of the cobra's hood, and draw down the midline of your body as you exhale. And let me just take a little moment here to talk about the hood. So you're forming the hood, you're holding your breath, so hold the breath. And then here, you're sending energy out the tips of the fingers, down to the ground, you're grounded. This is a really, you can do a lot of different things here. It depends on what you need, but sometimes, and what Connie would teach, was that if you're under stress and you just feel like you're a little bit aggressive, you can use the cobra bow as a way to express that aggression. And when you're feeling piss and vinegar for somebody, then project it out the fingers and send it down into the earth. And the earth will ground it, and it will take your shit and turn it into flowers. It'll take your energy and use it for something worthwhile that can help something else to grow. So it's sort of a psychic bleeding, if you will, a psychic release of tension. And you're sending it down and out into the earth deliberately. So that's how the bow, that's one way you can use the bow. What you can also do is send out good stuff, send out good wishes as you do the bow. So you send and project energy out into the world, like some sort of prayer, and then release and relax as you exhale. So that's one way that you can use the cobra bow. Okay, so let's do it a few times. And feel your nervous system, feel the little mini currents of electrical current around you, and hold the breath. Send out prayers or ground your energy, and then exhale. And hold the breath. Start to exhale. One more time. Good. And then triangle at the tip of the tailbone. So you place your hands with the triangle pointing down at the tailbone, and it's like a magnifying glass, amplifying the energy in your tailbone. You inhale, and then when you exhale, you bring the energy up to your brain stem and across to the third eye, and exhale out through the triangle. And then stand and feel what you feel like. So for me, I'm feeling that the wobbliness of the cobra. It's I'm big up here, a lot of my attention, because I moved my hands through this space up here. There's a lot of my automatic primed attention up in this area. So I'm a little bit wobbly, a little bit top heavy, and this is what cobra is like. Okay? Good. And it's not really feasible to like talk about how you can train cobra physically. It's a bit difficult. It's because the cobra is always like losing balance, and the way that you can train that kind of balance is with uneven ground, stability exercises. Here, just let me show you. So this is the kind of way that you would train your cobra so that you could get stable and handle the instability and handle the imbalance and balance. And so it's this kind of stuff. So it's like getting up, whoops, Daisy, onto a ball. I'm nervous now that I'm performing here in front of you. All right, so there you go. So this is the kind of stuff that the cobra does to develop its balance. So we're not going to be doing that, but that's the kind of work that you do. Actually, what you can do if you get a ball and you want to practice cobra is you can do stuff like on one knee and just try and stand, as if you're standing on two legs, and you just balance yourself. And you can do other stuff with, your both knees on the ball, and you can just try to throw yourself off balance and then get back on balance. Things like that. So that's how you can practice the cobra drunken quality in a way that builds a real skill. There are other ways that you can, other ways that we train and practice the cobra. One of them involves a ball on a string, and usually there's one person holding the ball, and the other person dodges it. And actually, you can just make a game of this, like with yourself. You're just flicking the ball around, kind of pseudo randomly, and you just got to get out of the way of the ball. So this is the kind of instability work that that promotes cobra. And, you know what the hell, I'll just do it for a little while, because if nothing else, it's probably entertaining to look at. Okay, here we go. Whoop, whoop. There we go, there we are. And this kind of getting off of the line of attack is a really important skill in martial arts. Aikido, we talk about it all the time, get off the line. And you see these like really elegant, really effortless maneuvers. Somebody's throwing a kick and you just get your leg out of the way while you keep going forward in a straight line. Somebody's like coming in with a sword and you just pivot and you keep going. So that's very much the quality of cobra. In terms of arts, what leopard likes to do is it lives up in the sky, it lives up in the clouds, and it's on an entirely different plane. And that represents, in martial arts, the high kicks. It loves to, jump into the air and, like the Air Force, take you out that way. And cobra, so the leopard is about, planes, and cobra is about lines. And so what the mythos for the cobra, in the mythos of the cobra, there's some sort of animal or a struggle of some kind, and the cobra rears its head up, and when it gets ready to strike, it rears its head up, and it takes a lot of energy for a snake to lift itself all the way up. No arms, right? It can't just push off. No legs, can't just, right? So it's all in the vertebrae, it's all in the back, and it opens up its hood. And what happens as it opens up its hood is that the for the it makes the animal look larger, yes, but it uses the hood almost like a radar, and it feels the intention of the other animal. And when the cobra senses the animal's intention, it moves. It doesn't wait for the animal to actually physically move. It doesn't move off of the animal's action. It doesn't react. That's what the panther does until the panther's mature enough. But what the cobra does is that it moves off of the intention to move of the animal. And so it doesn't react off of the action, it moves off of the intention. It's not faster, it's just earlier. It's not faster, it's first. It's an expression in Aikido. So it moves in sync with the mind and the intention of the opponent, of the other animal. And so these kinds of exercises, they're a good way of just practicing how relaxed your body can be while you're, if I was with somebody else, then, they'd swing the ball at me, and I would keep my awareness of them fixed on them while I moved my body off of the line of their attack, right? That's how that works. So you're extending your psychological awareness out. You're feeling the currents of intention around you while you're keeping your body loose and moving freely. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. And other fun stuff with cobra. Sorry, I keep stepping out of the frame here. But knives, you can also do this. So this is what's called in Japanese in our Aikido class, a tanto. And it's just a plain wooden knife. You can use a stick, it doesn't really matter. But same sort of thing as the ball, you sort of come to, point the point of the knife at you, and you move out of the way. And you move out of the way. And you move out of the way. You can do this with a partner, of course, just the same. Yeah, you go to cut or stab, and the person moves off of the line of your intention. And also in arts, and this is a shout out again to Bagua and Kelly Lake, you can use your fingers. We have a system, we have a form, it's cobra touches itself, which sounds kinky, but anyway, and what you're doing, it's like a boa for cobra kind of form. It looks like this. Whoops. And what you're doing is you're going through, there are a series of strikes, and you're striking the nerve plexus of the body. So you learn where the nerves are in your body. It helps you learn where nerves are in other people's bodies. But it's like a self acupuncture set, and it's very similar. It's like learning. You're using your own body to practice touching and receiving a strike, and you can also use your own body to practice evading strikes. And so this was another technique from another system. You take your fingers like this, kind of like leopard, and you have your elbows the elbows press apart, kind of like you're holding a big tree or a beach ball, or this is like the bow of a bow and arrow or something. And you use the fingers to sort of point at a part of your body, and you get that part of your body out of the way, right? And so these are all different kinds of exercises you can do to cultivate cobra. All right, and maybe we'll do one of them later, but I wanted to introduce the weird world of cobra that way. And cobra really doesn't give a damn about physical training. That's the thing, too, about cobra. So leopard and cobra are very ethereal. So if what they want to do is transcend this world and get the hell out. So with leopard, so each of the animals have different personalities. Panther is hedonistic, chocolate cheesecake and red meat at the same time. Tigers, give me my steak and potatoes and give me a good marching band. And for white leopard, it's like, I just want to eat light fruit, and so that I can transcend this earthly plane. And leopard loves, like, you know, angelic choirs of classical music with multiple harmonies at play all at once. It loves that big picture, that layers of information, of intuition. And cobra, the nervous system, small little pressure points, it likes small little concentrated points of energy in terms of food, seeds, nuts, the flowering, edible foods, so flowering foods. So those are the kinds of food that the cobra likes. And I was going somewhere with this. Right, so and again, they like to eat lightly so that they don't get grounded in this physical, too grounded in the physical world. The kinds of exercises that a cobra really likes to do is like meditation and blind games. So this is another form of exercise that you can do with people, is you can play card games. So you have a deck of cards, and maybe you start off with face cards, and one person is thinking of the card, and maybe if, let's say, it's King of Diamonds, you focus on the red, and the other person is like tuning in and they get the color. Is it, you know, they say red, and then you focus on the shape. You feel the hard edge of the diamond as opposed to the round, soft heart, and you focus on that, and you let the other person get it, and then you focus on the masculinity of the king, and you allow the other person to get it, and so you play this sending and receiving with cards, with game cards, and this sort of remote sensation is the kind of push-ups that the cobra likes. This is not really very popular. Things are kind of changing here in the West, but definitely in the West, there's still a lot of resistance to that. It's a lot more acceptable in the Far East and different areas, you know, Japan, Asia, and the East, and as well, for that matter, in Russia. Russia has a really large history, a long history, an openness to that kind of perception or awareness. And in fact, telling you a story, again, you know, relating this in terms of, you know, how does this have martial application? So one of the arts that I practice is Sistema, and it's taught by Russian special forces. And they have what's called, what is it called? Flushing, sniper flushing. And so what they go through an area, you know, where they think that there's an enemy sniper somewhere, and one of the guys will go out as a flush for the sniper. So they'll walk down the street and they'll feel, they'll suddenly get a sense of they're being watched. And they have their radio with them, and they communicate to their guy's sniper and say, okay, he's behind me at, like, you know, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock up, you know. And the other sniper aims and takes up the enemy sniper. So there's this kind of openness to this form of perception in other cultures. And yeah, it's a great story. And when I heard it, it's like, oh my God, like, that's cobra. So you can play with this kind of stuff. And the forms are really good for a couple of reasons. And first and foremost, foundation, basic, is first of all, all the bows for the animals help you check through your body and clear out stuff that's not yours. It's a reality check. It's so damn easy to get lost in all this, like, fun, you know, ESP stuff. You can just trick yourself and fool yourself way too easily. So coming back to a grounded physical practice, absolutely necessary. You know, whether there's psychic stuff hitting you or whether you, like, had an emotional encounter and you're just feeling the aftermath of that, doing the bows helps just breathe and release the tension. And you can get creative, you can get proactive with it. So if this speaks to you, if this kind of perception speaks to you, then yes, use the bows to cultivate that awareness for yourself. So you can use the cobra bows to send out positive prayers or positive intentions, and so on. And for that matter, you can use any of the bows with that kind of proactive intention, right? So if you're doing boa, you can send out, waves of empathy so that other things feel felt, and when people and things feel like they're recognized, they're more willing to recognize others, and you can promote empathy just by being more empathetic yourself. Panther, instinct, sensuality, sending out good wishes for people to feel good, and so on. Tigers, courage. You can send out good wishes for people to feel courage and stand for what they believe, and so on. So the bows are as much physical workout and relaxation and attunement, as well as a devotional practice. And just because you do it, it's hard to describe this, but it's not magical thinking. It's not because you're doing this, it has this sort of magical effect on the world. It's just an affirmation for yourself. It's something that you do to reaffirm your own integrity and your own commitment for the values you cherish. And that's very much what part of what the Cobra is. So, what is the Cobra? Let me just check, make sure I'm not going over time a little bit. Sorry. So just a little bit to talk about the Cobra. So where leopard is about energy and information, taking in information through intuition, Cobra is about psychic energy. So it's very personal. How personal? It's the part of you that transcends or travels when you die. So imagine like when you pass, all of your memories, all of your experiences get consolidated into, one point of energy. And then that point then moves on and goes on and continues traveling as you pass on. And if you could imagine that point emitting a light and a heat, the Cobra would, the form of perception of the Cobra would perceive that light and heat. And it is energy, intention, and intelligence. It's information like leopard, but intelligence, really. So this is the idea of prana, of chi, of energy, but it's not just like energy like fuel. It's energy that has intention, that has information or intelligence, and so you're drawn, and the Cobra perceives that quality of, perceives that. It perceives that very refined form of energy that has intention and intelligence. So that's what the Cobra is about. And it's, right, so So that's the kind of quality that the Cobra represents. Okay, let's see now. Right, and so you can practice that form of perception, doing the breathing, and playing games where you're cultivating that psychic perception, that perception of intention, with card games or with sticks or dodging dodging games. Okay, so I think we'll leave it at that. And stay tuned. I'm going to post up some stuff later tonight. I'm going to respond to one of Pamela's questions about movies and what's all the fuss about the red pill, blue pill, about the Matrix, and hopefully give you an insight into how you can use the animals to be able to interpret things that are going on around us today. So let's do the bow bow one more time, and we'll call it a day. Exhale. One more. Good. And thank you, everybody. We'll bow out. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your time with me. And we'll be here again tomorrow, same time, same channel. And have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. And I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow, Sunday. Bye for now.